2, 1, 2. Let me get my screen up. Free cipher law, what's the deal? Yeah, you know, actually, I had some. You know, I know we were supposed to be coming back and completing the video about the history of fire. But you know, I felt that, you know, look, I needed to give this little PSA. I need to give this little PSA to the brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Just in case y'all come across, if y'all come across what I saw today, right? I got sincere Shakanulu. In case y'all come across what I saw today, right? So, you know, y'all might have a little bit of insight into how to handle it. But did anybody see the title to you know, VladTV? He put the 5% in the title of one of his videos. Hold on, let me see if I let me. Let me see if I can get that title for y'all. It was quite so it says oh, this is a part 1 and a part 2 here. It says Gloria Velez on dating an adult from 5% Nation at 14, got shot at and abused by him. See, when Vlad put your name in the title, you a suspect. When Shaquille, what's the deal? When Vlad put your name in the title, you a suspect. You know, I'm just telling you how that's what this is about. You know what I mean? Look, put your 10-4 hats on. I need the 10-4 hat crew to come out. See, in New York, a lot of people is starting to step away from the gangs. Like it's just not as, it's not as attractive to the young kids no more. Who, Gloria Velez? I mean, I thought she was just one of these. I just seen her in the videos, the like the hip hop videos. I don't know who she is. You know what I'm saying? But see, like I'm saying though, is that she did a lot of this stuff is designed, right? See him in Adam 12, right? They do the same thing. See, they put something in the title that make you respond like this. And see, while you doing that, the feds is taking due notation. See, now's the time. See, if as soon as if you type something in this comment thing right here, right? You type something in this comment thing that, you know, makes them deem you a suspect, then yeah, let's check his IP address. Let's start cross referencing all this, find out who that is. See if you go, hey look, that's what we're talking about. But see, look, she whatever, if that's her life, that's her life. I'm saying the way when you say an adult from the 5% nation, as if we sent him to do that, as if somehow that you know coincides with any of our principles. Somehow that matches up with what we do. He'll take one line someone said or a topic and title the video with that, something that sounds entertaining to draw viewers. Yeah, but I ain't caught up with that. Not on VladTV. See, I'm telling you, look, the same thing happened with that drop your flag challenge thing. See, like I said, put your tinfoil hats on. See, too many people in New York is leaving the gang life. See, it's jeopardizing investigations. So see, Adam 12, he comes out there, he tries something, right? Hocus for a fifth seen it coming. You know what I mean? I don't know the brother, I never met him, but shout out to him. I seen that, he seen that coming. Now look, you said he did that mad at Lord Jamar. Now that's what I'm saying. Is something going on with them that I don't know? Because listen, I have to borrow from the West Coast. I have to borrow from the West Coast. Look, he did. He marked Lorenzo out. I don't have the terminology. I don't have the vocabulary. I don't have the word that he marked him out. See, look, these people don't understand. We don't want anything to do with them. See, the conscious community, the this we don't want anything to do with them. So see, as far as I'm concerned, those two are their agents. Personally, I don't think you could have sat there and listened and put on audio and videotape that much criminal activity, and the police don't never want to talk to you. See, once you go over there and open your mouth with them and they hook you in, that's what it's really about. I'm just telling you, don't nobody go on there, right, thinking that you explain it. See, you ain't got to contact him because we know who he is. You can hit him with the whole book of life. What you think is going to change? See, it's really about seeing how these people, but see, my thing is, right, that, what I don't like about this, the way this media thing is going, because I'm saying we getting shredded. We getting shredded. First, we got crack him. You know what I'm saying? Then it was this other brother. He made a little bit crazy video, but I ended up building with him. You know what I'm saying? Everything is peace. He said peace to the gods. You know what I'm saying? Now this, and see what I'm saying is, uh, we're starting to be known by people who's not 5%. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning that, you know, we're not known by Black Messiah and Shaheem and Freedom of God. We known, the narrative that's going out there, right, is not is not including, right, that none of that is Allah's teachings. You know what I'm saying? And I'm wondering, it's a little bit of silence, man, to me, right? I'm wondering, you know, where's all the people at that made themselves rich using our language? See, because look, I got my little 2,000 subscribers, right? But see, that's not gonna affect the 6.21 million people on his platform. So I'm just saying, like, just like for me, what I'm saying, like, come on, man. Like things that y'all are associating with the 5%, people that y'all are associating, activity that y'all are associating with the 5%. It's starting to leave, you leaving out who we are. So one thing is, right, that if you're, RZA, right, if you're Nas, Nori, Carmelo Anthony, at this point, you wanna wear our flag, Jay-Z. And I ain't saying what they gotta do, right? But I'm just saying, pay attention to the silence. Listen to the silence, right? And you might have to adjust your version of heroes. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, a lot of the people that I just named, uh, they played a part in, you know, uh, kind of, you know, popularizing the lives of people who strayed away from the teachings of Allah. People who, they they did what they did in their area. They, played their part in the history, but they never was really around the root like that. You know what I'm saying? They never, a lot of things that you hear about, 5%ers, you notice you don't really hear about that in Harlem. See, a lot of the people they talking about, see, like I said, with other groups that you get involved with when you a teenager, you gotta mature. You mature out of that because the people who establish the principles is teenagers and brothers that's 25 down. You know what I'm saying? But when you're dealing with something that was founded by people in their 30s and 40s, then you got to mature into that if you're getting that as a child. See, that's what I'm saying. A lot of these people that'll give you, tell you these various stories about 5%ers, right? You notice they always talking about children. They're always talking about, yeah, when I was in high school, I knew the 5%ers, you know what I'm saying? And they was like this. When I was in jail, I knew the 5%ers and they was like that. You see what I'm saying? And they not understanding that that was the environment of the people's brain. You understand what I'm saying? You can have any knowledge, right? The different brain environments that you put that knowledge in is going to make a difference. So you could have a spoon, right? You could have a spoon and you could use it to feed a baby and give life. Or you could sharpen it and use it as a weapon and take life. It all depends on the environment of the person's brain. See, the thing with this, you got to discipline yourself. We don't got no hell that's coming after this. So we don't have nothing to be fear of. It ain't no lightning bolts or nothing like that is going to strike us. See, we do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. See, this, I'm just saying, this is the reality. And what you're seeing out there right now, or at least what I'm seeing, right? And what's been it's been manifested. See, this is what I'm telling y'all about the whole time. Look, in terms of if you any type of art, you know what I'm saying, whether you writing rhymes, making movies, whatever, it's a certain amount of poetic license. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain amount of storytelling and all of these types of things. You see, if Tom Cruise is telling a story, right? If he keep acting like that in real life, people would think he's crazy. You see, that's what happens. You get people like, okay, you use your poetic license or whatever in your music, but then when you get a chance to talk, you stayed in character. You didn't tell people that that what you was involved with or what you was rhyming about or whatever was the product of you haven't built up your discipline yet. You haven't built up your discipline to be able to withstand all of the what you call that? The temptation that's put around you. See, when these people tell these stories, right? When people tell, they never talk about brothers that's in their 30s, because see, brothers that's in their 30s is really only two kinds. You got the kind that's matured into the 5% that they've been talking about all this time, and you got the kind that just in general, their brain has never matured. And so, the way they deal with the lessons and don't really apply it like that, they brain has never matured to those next levels. And that's the part that we get. Like, I don't think that people know out there. It's starting to be lost track, because see, it's all these characters out there. Everybody got these various characters, in their TV shows and their movies. When's the last time you seen one of these characters that's righteous? See, people starting to not know us through us. See, because this is what I'm saying, right? We just had somebody get assassinated. Why you didn't say why you didn't say if he was Christian, or why you didn't say that? See, the thing is, you gotta remember this, right? Look, I ain't in walk with Allah. So I know him through the people that walk with him. And the people, you know, who came after me, they gotta know him through me. You know, or whoever else, you know, not, you know, I'm not on a monopoly, but I'm saying, you know, each step, right? You gotta know him through the people that you experience. So what happens when people start knowing him through these stories? Like seeing all of this stuff, that's what I'm saying. And all of this talking about the 5%, I hear people talking about Elijah. I hear people talking about Fard. And shout out to the brothers. Bro, I hear people talk about Allah B. I hear Prince. God, I don't hear people saying Allah. They say, you know, the father of Allah, like that's, you know, some, nah. That ain't some no esoteric shit like that's in the Quran, man. And see, look, it's nothing you gonna say to Vlad, right? That's gonna, you know, do, you know, what I'm talking about is what we gotta do. You can't correct a snake. That's what he do. That's how he eat. You can't correct the lion. Be like, look, be civilized. Don't eat things, man. Don't eat, don't eat the other animals. Play nice. It's not how this works. You see, once he gets lost, right, then the specific teachings, the specific things. See, like I said, shout out to the brothers, right? But see, we teach what we teach, and they teach what they teach. Like that whole part is missing now. You see, we got people in the world, right, that they don't know that D is for divine, right? Something that's pure, something that's great, right? They don't know that I is for self. They don't know that C means to see, to be able to draw up a picture mentally and physically. They don't know that K is king of kingdom, but they know what the 49311 is. See, that's the real thing we gotta be worried at, concerned with. Because, like I said, I see what's happening for whatever reason, right? Let's say it's not a conspiracy. Yeah, look, we was doing Andrew Morrow. Look, I found. Speaking of that, on a side note, I found a video. It just came up on my what's your names. Uh, the other brother, Bilal Muhammad. I think him and Wesley have been having some kind of back and forth. In this video, it looked like he was rebuttaling some points that that Wesley had made. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? How many times they went back and forth? But I was gonna look for that. I was thinking about going through that. And a brother told me, shout out, it's a brother named Matty Cakes Muhammad. I don't know if he be on a live stream, but he watches after. And he told me that Bernstein Sharif and John Muhammad have a daughter that she's got some stories about Fard. And apparently there's some, videos where she's interviewed. So, that'll be a good contrast, you know what I'm saying, between the video that, Morrow and Bilal Muhammad made and what they thought they got to say. Medina, she got a new book too? Is it about that? That was the first time I heard it. All right, so that'll definitely be next up then. After because we watched half of the Morrow and Bilal Muhammad video. So we're gonna watch the rest of that, or how much ever more is interesting, and then we're gonna move to the Medina Muhammad stuff. She's a curator for the Traveling Artifacts Museum. What kind of artifacts? There are letters in the book with her writing Fard, but they don't show his response. It sounds romantic. So she's writing, like, are they addressed? Do we know what addresses that she wrote them to? The Ali video with checks and balances. Which one was that? Okay, so, I guess spoiler alert, but are they addressed to Mexico? Or is it just, 93 universe, and they get shuttled up to the mothership? Born Supreme service is next Tuesday at 5 to 10. Where is it? I mean, interesting. I can't wait to check it out. That's definitely gonna be next. K-Bar, where's it gonna be? Yeah, I ain't even know I wasn't. I didn't even know I wasn't on. But yeah, nah, that's look. Nah, we was wondering that. We was wondering that. What is the particular reason that we seeing all of these you know books and videos that's coming. But to me though, it seems like it's the mothership guy. Yeah, that would have been a good one. I should have said that one. I'm gonna use that one next time. Just fresh back. I had to dip onto the mothership real quick. Elijah, Elijah said he had something to hit me with. You know what I'm saying? But now we've been wondering that. But look, at the same time though, uh, it seems like it moves in cycles. It seems like because remember the last time it was Omar Shabazz and Paul Guthrie. You know what I'm saying? They all have videos around the same time. If you just Google his name, you would see that like maybe 10 or 11 years ago, it was another wave. You know what I'm saying? So why they doing it? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Why they doing it? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But you know, getting back to this point right here, I'm just telling y'all, don't go on VladTV trying to explain nothing, because all that's gonna happen is they're gonna turn the facial recognition on and and put you in a database. You're going, you know, now they got a picture to go along with your IP address, you know, so they can conduct their investigation. Like that's what these things is designed for. I came to that conclusion a while ago. You know what I'm saying? Like if they hear if they hear yeah, it's look at this right here, y'all. Oh man. You know, but I started seeing a while ago that this is a tactic that they do, right? Is that uh like let's say they hear that two people got a problem out there, right? They'll bring one person on, right? And then, you know, automatically ask them a question that they know is gonna cause them to say something that's gonna start a back and forth. You know, you put something in the title now, you know, somebody is hyped to come up there and say whatever, you know what I'm saying? But be aware of that. And then I mean just in general, right? It's like, yo, we just getting, you know, like I said, this, uh, kind of in the same way you just said, why is it becoming popular right now to write all these books on fraud, right? Why is it becoming popular right now, right, to portray us as, you know, basically just another gang. You know, things being associated with us, right? That's not possible. It could have been associated with us. See, right now, they got to drag everybody back in. You know, see, like I said, in New York, it's happening, but it's happening all over. People is not interested in going into the gangs no more. You know what I'm saying? People is not interested in smoking crack no more. People is, I mean, yeah, it's still people, but not enough to, make all this money that it draws everybody out there. You gonna make a channel to compete with the colored man called Dry Snitch TV? I mean, look, that's the thing, but at the time, see, this is why I'm saying be aware, right? Because you know the people that's going on these shows, right? They not the people that's made deaf, dumb, and blind by the devil when they were babies. They the people that searched for trillions of years. Like that's what I'm saying. If you going on there to be mad at Vlad and curse him out about what he's saying, you searching for trillions of years. He didn't tell you to do that. He did his job. He did his job. How much degrees we got to tell you, listen right down there, tell lies, steal, try to master the original man. You see what I'm saying? That's why you have to be aware. Because like I'm saying, this is coming. It's coming. You know. Now look, like I said, it was one brother. Look, he made a video, man. Man, F the guys. Word is bond. That's what the video. You know, but you know when I built with the brother and I interacted with him, you know what I mean. He was like, "Yeah, that was wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? I apologize for that. Piece of guys. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know he's a brother now. You know, now I'm saying not saying he's, but I'm saying you know he's somebody that let's say, like for instance, look, he got a bigger platform than me. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things I was thinking about. Like, yeah, maybe I do need to go. You know, I've been invited on a couple of platforms. You know, I'm not a superstar, but I've been invited a couple of bigger platforms. But I just be like, yeah, I don't really, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, it's like, you know, like let's say it's Vlad, right? I don't got no war stories I'm gonna tell you. So what's the point of me going on there? That's not. You understand what I'm saying? I don't gotta write paperwork. I don't. But for the purpose of going out there, right, and letting people know that the law had teachings that's about education, you know what I'm saying, and benefiting your community, right, and you know, being our own saviors as well as the people around us, because ain't no mystery God, right, or no outside forces coming to help us. There's no supernatural powers or none of that. You understand what I mean? That we believe in, and so that's how we was taught to handle things. We have supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet as our tools to build our own heaven right here on the planet, and that's what we about. We not nobody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would be allowed to do that around us. Like you leaving that part out, and that was always a big part of what was known about the guys is that you can't do certain shit around them. And see a lot of this shit now, just crack him and you know, just child molester here. So, you know, look, is that part of it? That see, like I said, look, if everybody's leaving the gangs alone, right? Then you start increasing the probability that a lot of them is going now come back and try to look for the knowledge. So now you want to put all this shit on us. You want to make us look like this. This is the shit that comes to the top of the algorithm. I'm telling you, man, watch these people. You know, but we're gonna go ahead and sign off. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, be aware or be square. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna come back in with like I said, those those other historical videos. We're gonna finish checking out the Andrew Morrow and Bilal Muhammad video, and then we're gonna find some Medina Muhammad, whatever interviews that she might have up there, and see what she got to say. You know what I mean? And then I think that would, we getting well rounded because we getting the outside view and we getting the inside view. You know what I'm saying? And then we can weigh it and judge it. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, between time, I'm gonna sign off.